Gear Games Master for the evening is David. Kosa is played by Nick. Kyūryū no Kawa, or Kyūryū, is played by me, Oliver. Hachirō is played by Richard. Kinzo is played by Tim. And we don't have a name for Dr. Character yet. I'm going to grab a notepad, actually.
So we have 3 Budoka, Yakuza, etc. So, unfortunately, Doc, I'm afraid there isn't a Tanto here. Uncle hasn't got a Tanto, but, well, possibly his cousin up in Shibuya Village might have one. You could always, if you want to take some materials up into Shibuya Village, then he can put in a good word for you with his cousin.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a great idea.
Oh, good. And you wanted one of his...
wooden yaris.
Well, of course, I have loads of those available, and I'd be delighted to sell you one. So if you would care to knock off 20 copper from your total.
Yep.
And then if you go to character sheet and under weapons, you've got wooden yari. Jolly good.
I pressed it in. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you have a look on the right-hand side of the equipment list, you'll see I've got 5 columns. Worn, close, for example in sheath, in own baggage, by other, in other words, if somebody else is carrying it for you, such as a porter, or dropped. Now, you'll see down below, under your garb, etc., some of it's worn and some of it's carried in your own baggage. The reason for doing that is, if you try carrying too much, then it causes encumbrance, and that affects your speed, etc., and that causes you problems. So, what you have to do is put an X in the column that you're that's appropriate to each bit of equipment. So, as far as your yari is concerned, you put an X in the close. In other words, you've got it in a sling over your back or something. So you can take it out and drop it, and it's easier to get rid of than something that's worn. Something that's worn takes time to get rid of. Sometimes you have to carry too much stuff. Say you ambushed various infantry and you're actually carrying 3 sets of partial light ashigaru armor in your baggage. You'll notice at the top, suddenly the weight you're carrying has gone up to 84 pounds. You're over encumbered. That halves your deftness and speed. It gives you a -2 on your saving throws and your capabilities and everything.
Right.
Okay? If somebody leaps out of the bushes at you, what do? Well, if you look in cell 03, status of own baggage at the present moment is carried. The first thing you do in that situation is you drop your baggage. And suddenly your baggage is on the floor somewhere, but you now have your normal speed, etc. So it's handy for keeping track of what effects there are for carrying stuff. If you're encumbered, it slows you down. If it slows you down, you don't travel as fast, and that affects campaign movement as well as combat movement. Okay, so let me just get rid of the partial ashigaru armor, because you wouldn't think of ambushing the daimyo's men. Is there anything else you want in the way of equipment? You'll have a set of dice. That's not a problem. You can always come back and buy something from Uncle if you think of it. Okay?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, things such as like lockpick set, for example, I don't know if you would sell that necessarily.
Well, my son, well, my boy, if you have a look under lockpick set, unfortunately, he's out. Somebody ousted him for that this week, I'm afraid. So I'm afraid he doesn't have any.
Oh.
Now, hang on a second. I am just going to... Would you mind clicking on Quiet Whisper Doc? I'm just going to go there. Quiet word with your comrade have been had. And... okay, so I think I've explained that. Okay, if we go to roll 20...
As a matter of interest, Dave, which of us is the highest status?
Oh dear. We're already playing the status game, are
Did
we?
we get a character for Doc's name yet? Just from my notes.
Not so much that, but he will be our nominal leader.
So
Really?
So we know who to ignore.
Okay, well, it looks to be a Kyūryū and Kosa are the nominal leaders. They are both Budokas. They both have a global status for 17. So they are obviously from good families and well trained in an honourable profession. So Kyūryū and Kosa, if you wish to lead the group, you are more than welcome. Okay, one more thing, Doc. Can you roll me a D6 for your hit points, please? Your basic hit points are your health plus a D6.
Okay. I've got a 4.
You got a 4.
Did we get a character name for you yet, Doc? Sorry to be a pain.
Not yet.
No, cool. Just checking. I hadn't missed it.
Okay.
I just randomized the name. It's Ichijō.
Oh, Ichijō.
How do I spell that?
Hang on a second. Let me just rename his tab.
ICHIO.
ICHIJO.
IJO.
Oh, Jay.
Ooh.
Ichijō. I've just renamed his tab on the character sheet, on the spreadsheet.
Oh yes, I see it. Right, let me go to it so I can
Okay.
get the accent.
Okay. Kyūryū, would you roll me a d10, please? Because we haven't rolled your hit points yet.
Oh, here we go. Right, 2 seconds. I'm just tidying this thing up. Oh, D10. Right, go on, Oliver. Roll good. Six.
Above average.
Above average. I'll take that.
Yep. Well, added to your 21 health, you have 27 hit points. Good going.
Nice.
Okay, let me go into the roll 20. Okay. The first map that you're seeing in roll 20 is the local area on the Isle of Kyūryū. Your little province is on the the eastern half of the island, and it lies within the province of Central Hyuga. If you click on the journal tab and click on the map of Central Hyuga province, that gives you a map in the local format showing the province itself. Okay. The one in Roll20 you can boost up. It's also pinned to the to Discord. On that map, you can see in the middle you've got 3 boats on the sea. The middle boat, just above its prow, you can see a tiny little village on the coastline. That is your village. And if you look up at the top of the map, you'll see a little Hanamishisu vertically above the mountains.
Yes.
So
the little red dot, is that us? Or the
No.
above it?
The little village on the road.
Aye, so not the bigger one to the left of the boat, the one just directly across from the boat, not the red, the white. And
The one above the boat's
middle
prow.
boat. Yeah, on the crossroads of the upside down T junction.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, cool, got you.
So that gives you an idea of what the whole of Central Hyuga province looks like. However, on Roll20, what you can see at the moment is what you, as local villagers, know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knowledge.
Now, I'm just going to sketch on your local lord's province. Basically, he rules that area. You see the little brown line, everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
So he rules between the two rivers and that valley into the the higher terrain. You come from Hanamishisu. His estate is up in the hills and is served by the village of Shibuka. And you have relatives in both villages. Over the river to the south is part of Central Hyuga province that's directly ruled by the daimyo, and one of his vassals, one of his Hatamoto, manages Ohaya Castle. Ohaya Castle is a bit of a relic. This part of the island used to be split into two provinces. There was Hayamana province to the south and Takuga province to the north. And the river south of Hanamishisu was the border between them. And Ohaya Castle was built as part of Hayamana province. About 50 years ago, there was a massive battle between the two daimyo. Takuga lost, and Hayamana and Takuga were basically merged into one province, Hyuga province. And it was split into north, central, and south. The daimyo rules a large amount of central Hyuga personally, with a number of sub-fiefs let out to other samurai. North Hyuga and South Hyuga are managed by trusted vassals and are split up into other sub-provinces. So your boss is a bit of a misnomer. He's a direct vassal of the shogun, who's retired and settled as a G-samurai, but it's believed that he's been put here to keep an eye on one of the shogun's uncles, who is also retired, and he's an epicure and runs the Inn of the Willows up near Nobioka. Of course, why Lord Kanawa is here is a matter for him and the shogun, of course, but people will gossip. The difficulty is, of course, because he takes his province, his fief, directly from the shogun, he's not subject to the daimyo of Central Hyuga, and there's a little bit of friction. So to travel through Central Hyuga, you would need to get a pass from the daimyo to allow you to travel through his lands. Well, you can try travelling without a pass, but friction can occur if you meet up with his one of his patrols. So the reason you know about Ohaya Castle is because a lot of you have been carting stuff around for Uncle Scrooge as kind of as porters when he needs them. So you've travelled between Hanamishisu and Nobioka. But to get a pass, the quickest way is to go down to Ohaya Castle and get a pass, and then travel up to Nobioka. The reason being, you can't get a pass till you get to Nobioka, and if one of his patrols catches you moving goods through his terrain without a pass, they might confiscate them. Annoying. North of the Kanawa estate, you'll see the House on the Rock. Teachers from the House on the Rock, which is a martial arts academy, come down to... they actually train Lord Kanawa's men in the arts martial. So your instructors in Atemiwaza and Jujutsu come from there. So you have trained with teachers from there, but you are not actually members of the school. If you wish to become members of the school, that's up to you. The Temple of the Great Waters, it's a massive name, but it's basically a small Buddhist temple with one priest, Oyasumi. The fishermen believe that he keeps them safe from storms and fights off the tempests, and you haven't had a great wave for some time, but no doubt he will be. His prayers are keeping them away.
Did a good job.
Yep. Now, Nippon has a large number of what are called places of mystery. They are, if you think of the British experience, you've got Stonehenge, you've got Tintagel Castle, you've got various other places around the country which have legends associated with them. There are tales told. How true they are, well, who knows? But places of mystery are known of in Nippon. The Valley of the Mists. Does anyone know that tale? The Valley of the Thousand Autumns. That is a well-known place that winter never comes there.
Ooh. And
one place that you do know in your area is the Hill of Daitakuga. There's when the final battle between the daimyo of Takuga and Hayamana provinces occurred. The daimyo of Takuga province set up his command post on top of a hill, and he controlled the battle, but he lost so utterly that he committed seppuku up there, and it's a place of ill omen. There are ghosts there. There are terrible evil spirits, and as kids, well, you know what kids are like. On a dare, when you were in the area, you kind of went up there as long as it was daylight, and came down full of your courage, etc., and prowess at having actually been there. But it's an ill-omened place. There's something there not right. Watch it. The road that goes through Hanamishisu is the Saikaido. Over on Honshu Island, you have the Tokaido, which is the major road which goes up and down the island. The Saikaido goes most of the way around Kyūryū itself. And that is a great road, and there are people going up and down it all the time. There are lesser roads between the individual villages. On the way to Nobioka, you'll see that there are a number of rivers. Those rivers are crossed by bridges. The river at Nobioka is too wide to be crossed by a bridge and has to be crossed by a ferry. And you'll notice on the other side of that river, there's a shrine, the Thanks for River Crossing shrine. And wise travellers go and make offerings there, either before their journey to placate the kami, or after their journey in thanks to the kami. The Shrine of War is quite close to Nobioka as well. That's a shrine to Suzanu. And the villages on the way to Nobioka, most of them are farming villages, but they have inns for travellers, etc. Nobioka itself is a large town. The daimyo resides there in his citadel, but it's the closest thing to civilization that Uncle Scrooge knows. If he needs more goods, then that's where he goes to try and get them for him. Nothing's too much trouble to serve the villagers, Okay. If you've read the other bits and pieces, then there's common knowledge, etc. So the situation is, it's been a good harvest last year. You've come through the winter, and you've mustered out of the Lord's army. You have skills. You have a certain amount of money, but sadly, you're not going to get much more from your families. You're all younger sons, and unfortunately, there isn't a place on the farm or in the fishing boat for you, or in the craft workshop. You can certainly help out when you're here, but don't expect to earn a living from it. So you have to try and improve yourself and your lot in life. There are things you can do. You can work as porters for Uncle Scrooge and his associates in Nobioka. You could hire on as guards for a merchant train going around the island. You could pop up to Shibuya and see if they have any more tantos, possibly, or even go up to Nobioka and see if they've got any tantos. You could venture into the interior. There's rumoured to be goblins and other such evil creatures in there, but they're always rich because they steal from the poor, unsuspecting peasants. So they're bound to have lots and lots of wealth for you to take. Or you can just go and visit temples and make pilgrimages and boost your self-esteem. join a martial arts school, maybe train up, gain status in the school, become a pet of the master of the school, and learn the okuden, the mastery skills. It's up to you what you want to do. But certainly, Uncle Scrooge has suggested if you want to take some goods for him up to Shibuya, then you can visit his cousin up there and see what he's got in the way of goods. Up to you. The day today is looking... Oh, what's the weather like today? It's relatively good, I think. It's spring. And it wasn't freezing last night. It's going to be up into double figures today. Clear skies, gentle breeze. Oh, it's a lovely day. What would you like to do?
Well, my first question is, do we have like a year? Are we based in like normal human years? Because I know it's fantasy, but it's based in Japanese culture. Do we have a year, a date, or?
If you look at your character sheet,
Yep.
Oliver, you will see at the top of the character sheet you have your gold, silver, and copper.
Yeah, let me get to find me. Hang on. Gold. Yep.
Okay. Currency in Nippon is based on food. They're very practical. 1 copper will buy you a bowl of rice and a cup of sake. It will basically buy you 1 day's food. A silver will buy you a month's food. There are 3 10-day weeks in a month. So there are 30 copper to the silver. 1 silver is a month's food. A gold will buy you a year's food. There are 12 months in a year, 12 silver to the gold, so a gold will buy you a year's food. So there are 30 days in a month, 3 10-day weeks. There are 12 months in a year, 360 days in a year. Okay?
Yep.
One thing I haven't mentioned, in classic Japan, women were basically underdogs. My campaign has borrowed something from Empire of the Petal Throne. That was an early campaign which said that if a woman declared herself, I think in EPT it was Aridani, they effectively declared themselves to be men and were then treated as men. Mm-hmm. So in my campaign, women folk can either be traditional Japanese and theoretically subservient, although dealing with mother-in-laws, no way were they subservient. But women can declare themselves to be equal to men, train as men, be treated as men. They will still have prejudice against them from men who don't believe that should happen.
But they opt into
But they opt into that, and they choose to act in a male fashion, according to the culture. Okay? This is the year of the rat, and the month is Mutsuki, and it's effectively the first day of spring.
Okay, the year of the rat.
Mm-hmm.
Mutsuki.
Okay, now, how much you can move on this campaign map, and here's where certain members of the party are grinning to themselves, aren't you? You can move 1 ri. Is it ri or rai? Those who know Japanese, please tell me.
I'd be more inclined to guess ri than rai.
Okay. You can move 1 ri on the campaign map per point of BMA you have, per point of movement allowance you have. And the movement allowance of the various characters, well, unfortunately, Hachirō has got a movement allowance of, at the present moment, 2. Hachirō, if you want to have a look at your character sheet, I'm afraid you are already partially encumbered.
Dave, Are we
Yes.
on the first of Mitsuki, are we?
First of Mitsuki, yes.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, you are already over encumbered. You got 11 points in baggage, 4.5 in weaponry, etc., and you've got 3.5 pounds of coins.
You won't, can it?
Well, yes, because there's 50 coins to the pound, and you've got 160 copper.
Oh my god, they're old school D&D coins.
No, old school D&D coins were 10 coins to the pound. So you may wish to translate some of your copper into silver. Uncle would be prepared to do that for you. He'll only charge one lower level coin for each of the high level coins.
What an uncle. Remind me the conversion rate again, sorry, exchange rate.
30 copper to the silver. So you could translate 150 of your copper into 5 silver, and he'd only charge you 5 copper for it.
Oh, yeah, I'm in there.
So that's 16 silver and 5 copper left.
Correct.
Look at that. Did that under pressure, everyone watching.
No, it's normal.
man.
Uncle Scrooge manages the money for the village.
Oh,
Banker,
gosh, ain't
tradesman, broker, why not?
Why not?
Oh, it's a steady income. Unfortunately, you are still partially encumbered. You need to get your encumbrance down to, I believe, 10. You can carry up to twice your strength. So how you manage to get your encumbrance down to 10, that's going to be difficult. You could ask one of the other
clothes and water.
You could ask one of the other characters to carry it for you. I mean, if they carried your food, that would get you down to below 10.
I'm a bit weak and pathetic, guys. Anyone able to help out?
Would one of you kind people be willing to carry his food for him?
How much?
I can
how much
offer
food has he
my,
got?
He's got the
strong arms. Yeah, I can
He's-
for you.
He's got the standard 10 days food, which weighs 5 pounds.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, so if you put yourself up to 20 days and
Weighs 5 pounds on my sheet.
yes, but Tim's character has 5 pounds of his own food.
Aha,
So-
sorry.
So if we put that 5 into being carried by someone else, and can just put a note saying carried by Tim.
Kinzo, please.
Sorry, Kenzo. Sorry,
Kin with an I, not an E.
Kinzo. My apologies.
I don't know about the others, but I fancy taking some goods to Shibuya. It keeps us within the province, our fief, and is a short journey. Allow us to get to know each other better.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Indeed. Uncle would be delighted to have you carry some of his goods up there. He'll even charge you for it.
Since we're doing his work, he'll be paying us.
That's good of him.
Yeah, it's not a job if we're not getting paid.
Well, but he's giving you an introduction to his cousin.
Yeah, we still won't pay.
Oh dear. Honestly, you'd think you'd do it for kind of,
He just charged me
A fellow-
copper coins,
yeah,
I mean,
literally
for
getting
clout.
the same value back.
Yeah, he would at least pay for the journey there.
Well, if I had lots of money, then I wouldn't need to charge him, but I don't have lots of money.
well, if he gives you an introduction to his cousin might have some work for you. But I suppose he goes back into his warehouse and has a look to see what he can find. How much has he got that he needs to send up there?
Where are we going to?
Shibuya. up the road towards Lord Kanawa's estate. All right. He'd be willing to pay you 2 copper a day to carry his goods up there.
How many days travel is that?
You should do it in a day easily. If you take longer than he's not going to pay you more than a day's wages for it. You're not stretching it out. He wasn't born yesterday.
What's the walking rate on a road per like by hexes? Like two hexes per day? Like what's the?
If you have a look down below, you'll see that on a minor road, which it is up to Shibuka, you can increase your movement rate by 50%. So the slowest member of the party is currently Hachirō, and Hachiro's BMA is 3. That means he would be able to move 4 hexes on that road.
Right, okay, 4 hexes in a day.
Yes.
Alright, so we get there and halfway back in the day, don't we?
Well, no. Not Hachiro's BMA is only 3. Now, on a minor road, that goes up to 4, so he'd be able to do 4 hexes in a day.
That will get us there
So
directly.
there and then back to there, yeah. So you get there anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're here.
I would suggest
go there.
Yeah, we're there. So 1,
Yes, it's 4.
2, 3, 4, and yeah, sorry.
Yep.
I'm going to suggest to Uncle that he pays us 2 days' wages there and back.
Well, we've got to get back, haven't we?
Oh no, you're going up there to see his cousin.
Well, is his cousin going to pay us for the road back, like?
Well, you wanted to go up there, and he's paying you to take his stuff up there. You're not paying. If his cousin has something to come back to him, then his cousin will pay you to bring it back. But he's not paying you to come back empty-handed. You're going up there because you want to go up there.
Oh, all right. No need to get upset.
I mean, this stuff doesn't need to get up there for another week.
All right, we'll take your pay then.
It depends on how much we have to carry here.
Well, he looks at Hachirō and then talks to the rest of you.
How much has he got for us to take?
He's got about £50 of stuff for you to take. All right.
£50, huh?
If we split that between the 4 of us, we should be all right.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that going to slow us down?
Shouldn't do, because even if it slows the quick guys down, we'll still be going as fast as the slowest
Yeah,
member.
we're only going at the slowest guy's pace, yeah.
Yeah.
Or there.
I mean,
Okay, we'll take his job for him then. What's the stuff?
Okay. He's got various bales in the warehouse that have got dropped off from Nobioka that need to go up there. And it's miscellaneous stuff. It's not massively valuable, but don't drop that one. All right, that's earthenware. Drop it, and I'm not. You'll pay for it. You break it, you buy it. All right.
All right.
Right, boss.
None of this stuff is going to get us into trouble, is it, if we're searched?
He looks wounded and hurt.
Yeah, what kind of man do you think he is?
1 second.
Yeah.
Look, he's a merchant, okay?
He looks wounded and hurt, and you don't believe him. No. There is nothing in there that's contraband that the Lord Kanawa would object to.
Thank you.
All right. I'm not saying the local daimyo might not object, but this isn't his province. All right.
So if we look through some of the things that you're bringing along here, you wouldn't mind, would you? Just to see what it is we're actually carrying.
Yes, I would. Those are sealed bales. My cousin got them from Nobioka on special order, and he expects to see them sealed with the original tags. All right?
No problem.
Good God, you're not in more trouble than you're worth.
Oi,
Here I am, out of the goodness of my heart,
Help.
giving you a... Yep, yes, he stopped.
calm down. We'll take your stuff. We won't look through it. What dangers might there be on the road?
Oh, it's reasonably safe. Lord Kanawa's people guard the road. They travel the road and make sure that it's safe within the province. Well, unless he's out hunting, in which case, who knows what they've roused up in the woods. These bouquet, they're wonderful people, and Lord Kanawa is entitled to hunt when he wants. You get the impression you don't believe him there either.
Yeah, was there somebody watching and say that?
As far as he knows, it should be reasonably safe. The roads are kept clear by the guards, and Lord Kanawa's men do a good job. I mean, you were doing that job only a few months ago. Helping them chop back the trees, etc., and make sure people can't leap out at you onto the road.
The joys of being a soldier. Okay, do you want us to leave now?
Well, up to you. It'd probably be after dark when you get there if you leave now.
Okay, we'll leave tomorrow morning then.
Okay.
I mean, as long as we arrive before it's dark, then it should be fine.
Let's have a full day that we know we're going to get there, shall we? After all, I don't want to be ambushed by bandits if I can avoid it.
Bandits? Lord Kanawa would never allow bandits to settle in his province.
Yeah, but he's not here, is he?
Well, no. But it is his province. You get extremely upset.
Yeah, well, see, bandits don't worry about that sort of thing. They go, we want what you've got, and we're going to take it.
Well, all you need to do is tell Lord Kanawa or his son here, and they will chase after them and get the stuff back.
Yeah. Well,
assuming that we survived the encounter in the first place.
Yeah. I'm going to be completely blunt with you as well. I don't think the bandits are going to wait a day just because we want to go tomorrow. And I don't think nighttime or daytime really matters either.
I think it's going to make a difference, yeah.
If anything, daytime is more likely to get robbed.
It might not, but at least we'll be able to see them coming.
Yes.
Well, I mean, as far as they can see in the dark, I think it's about the same.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't see too well in the dark.
I don't want to fall over and break the goods.
Uncle looks horrified at the thought.
Very well, very well. We'll wait for tomorrow.
Excellent.
Okay.
So we'll wait until tomorrow, and then we'll set out early at dawn.
Crack of dawn.
Okay. You all go back to your homes, and they're a bit dischuffed that you haven't left already, but your mum will insist that you stay the night and have something to eat, so you don't need to knock any food off for today, alright? You tell them that you've got a job with Uncle Scrooge. They seem pleased that somebody else is going to have to carry that stuff up for them. And the following day dawns. Again, clear skies. Probably going to be a bit chillier today. It's a bit more of a wind. But never mind. It's a good day for walking. It's not hot and sweltering. It's not pouring with rain. It's a good day for walking. Okay, so how are you splitting up the £50?
Any reason not to do it equally amongst us?
Well, yeah.
What?
I can't carry myself.
How many barrels has he actually got?
How many was it? It was 9 total, so there'd be 8 bales of £5 each and 1 of 10.
Right.
Okay, so you can split it up.
You
can split it up in multiples of 5.
It's wondering as well, since we have a water bottle, how long do those last?
Oh, that's a day. You shouldn't have any problem. You can just dip it into the river and fill it up with water.
Right.
You're used to the bugs in the local river water.
So one of us is carrying 20 pounds, the others are carrying 10.
No, you better split it up better than
Split
that.
it up, yeah. Split it up evenly between the stronger characters.
Yeah, you got.
We can't split it any better than that.
You can. You got one of 10.
If somebody
and 8 of
takes
5.
Somebody takes the 10 and a 5, and the rest of you take all the rest of the 5s.
I can probably take the 10 and the 5, I think.
You check the 10 and a 5, that leaves 7 bales of £5 each for the 3 of us. That's 2, and a 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
Suits me.
I'll take a 2 because I'm already carrying somebody else's stuff.
I'll carry the 3, I have no problem carrying the 3.
Fair enough. He kind of fusses over you as you're getting everything loaded, just making sure everything's tied on properly and properly balanced. Wouldn't want you to trip. And you set off up the road to Shibuya. Okay.
Can you reverse my sheet how much weight I can actually carry? Because I don't think it says.
Okay. If you go to your sheet and you say that you are carrying miscellaneous items, goods, and then you are carrying them, and there's 10 pounds and £5, and you're carrying them in your baggage. Yep.
Okay, just like so. Alright.
Yep, so that puts your weight up to 25, and at the present moment you are carrying your baggage, so your baggage is carried, so you're carrying 38 pounds of goods in total, but you're still unencumbered.
Alright.
Because you can carry 40 pounds, because you're exceptionally strong.
Perfect.
These Budoka are...
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to say that one of us, there was a box or one of the barrels that he pointed out to be very careful with. Which one of us is carrying that currently?
I don't know. Which of you wants to carry the earthenware?
One of you's not carrying much, I suggest.
Yeah, I'll do it then.
Alright.
Okay. Kyūryū's carrying the earthenware. Jolly good. Venture up the road.
Before we leave, I should go to the armory and get my gear.
Okay. Stalwart Spearman just checks what you're. Oh, you're just travelling up Shibuya. Yes, certainly. Yep, no problem. You can take it out.
Can I borrow? This is the Tonto then as well.
Yes, you can. You can take the Tanto from the armory.
Right.
Right, for interest, you notice that not only have I got a pair of Uwara, but I've got a pair of Tonfa as well.
Yeah. Yes, you're definitely into subduing them. Okay, you travel further up the road. The valley does actually look. You do know that this valley is reasonably well managed. Lord Kanawa does make sure that the road is cleared back either side. There's not a lot of undergrowth. The trees are cut back, so it is a pretty safe journey. And you are almost up to Shibuya when there is a scream from the woods to the south of the road, and a young girl races out towards you. Help! Help!
I'm looking in the direction the little girl came from. See if there's anything coming.
No, not that you can see. It's woods. Help! Help!
I'll stop and put down my weight.
Carefully.
Yeah. I'll very carefully put mine down.
I shall do the same.
Okay. Please come and save my brother. He's been treed by a boar.
Okay, lead on.
She explains quickly that they were out looking for mushrooms, but they disturbed a wild boar, and she managed to hide behind a bush, but he got kind of caught up a tree.
Well, I'll look after the goods if you guys are going into the woods.
Someone should watch the goods. No, I agree. Like,
Okay. Well, somebody has to stay. Okay.
Yeah, I'll stop. Those who will stay. I'll look after the goods.
Okay, fair enough. Right.
As everyone else starts to like walking off into the woods with the rest, Ichijō kind of stops there for a second, looking at the road, thinking to himself, "I really wish we could have just gone," and then reluctantly seems to come with you anyway.
Okay. All right. This is an introduction to Bushido combat for those who haven't played before. Okay. So it's not a major plot point. This is just an initial battle to show you how it works.
So we're not supposed to be dying, all right?
You might die. I'm
are you
not saying
joking? I
that
was going to
it's
try and find a peaceful resolution with the boar. I was going to parley. What are you talking about?
Well, you can try talking to the boar if you want. They're not noted for good tempers. Anyway, let me just move you to a wood sheet. And hopefully you should find that you are on a sheet, and we need to sort out characters for you all. Okay, now, can you all see the woods and various figures around? Okay. Now, various concepts in Bushido that you need to be aware of. First of all is the types of weapons. You have long range, medium range, and short range weapons. Okay. And each of them has what's called an engagement range. If you have a look on the Bushido spreadsheet, on the list of weapons tab, and then for each weapon, on the list of weapons tab, you'll see in column G, it tells you what the range is.
Yep.
Okay. And there's a handy little guide over on the right, which actually gives you a diagram showing each of the weapons. Okay. And then below that, you'll see the engagement range for the different weapons and the modifiers. So a short range weapon, its normal engagement range is right next to you. If it's in your own hex, you know, if they are trying to grapple you and you're using an Iguchi or a Tanto, you get +1 in your chance of hitting them. If they are in the hex immediately around you, it's just standard straight +0. You can stretch and hit them in the area outside that, at which point you get a -1. But that grey circle is the engagement range. Okay, so short, medium, and long. So somebody with a Tanto, with a Yari, a long-range weapon, a spear, has actually got an engagement range of 4 hexes away. So if somebody is using a short-range weapon like a Tanto, the guy with the spear can hit them 2 hexes before they can reach him. Of course, once they're right next to him, he's at -2, and they're at +0. So it's important. The second thing is the types of actions that you can take. Basic options can only be carried out in your basic action phase. That's your first action phase. And you can carry out actions if you are unengaged, but there's only a limited number of actions you can carry out if you're engaged. So if you want to walk, run, or charge, you can't do that if you're already engaged with someone. You can only do those if you aren't engaged. Okay? Close to engage, you can move up to half your movement allowance and attack on the same phase. Charge, You can move up to twice your movement allowance, as long as it's in a straight line, and then execute an attack. But you charge on your action phase, but you strike on action phase 2. So basically you rush up to them, they hit you as you're rushing up, or at least they try to, then you try to hit them. Okay? Certain actions, like casting a spell, you can do that when unengaged. If you try to do it when engaged, you have to make a will saving throw to do it. Okay? Now, primary options can be carried out on any primary action phase, which is for you lot your first action phase. So you can do that as well as basic actions. And again, you can do any of them if you're unengaged. Certain of them you can do if you're engaged, like take a combat action. But if you want to alter position, say somebody knocked you down, to get up while engaged, you have to make a speed saving throw. And finally, secondary options. Those can be carried out on any action phase, but they're the only things that have been carried out on a secondary action phase. And again, you can carry out an attack, but it's at half your BCS. Okie doke. So, if you are in engaged range, it does limit your options. But if you're not in engaged range, you can't hit the guy. Finally, if you look at the Combat Modifiers tab, that lists out alterations to your base chance of success. And the key one to be aware of is distractions. Distractions are things within your weapon range that you're trying to avoid hitting, like allies. So, for each of your allies within your engagement range, you'll get -1 to hit. Oh yes.
That's cool.
So the advantage of having a spear is you've got a very long range. The disadvantage of having a spear is if you have a line of spearmen, all your friends are going to be in the range and you're going to have a reduced chance to hit. Okay? So you get pluses and minuses. However, if you have a strong will, you can ignore distractions up to your will saving, your effect number on a will saving throw. In other words, you try rolling a d20 less than your will saving throw. For every point below your will saving throw, you'll roll. So if your will saving throw is an 8 and you roll a 3, that's an effect number of 5. You're 5 below. And you can ignore up to 5 distractions. Restrictions are other things in your engagement range that can get in the way, like those 2 trees, the branches overhead, the wall behind you. You can't ignore them. They're there, so you have to make an allowance for it in your bugai. You then have modifiers depending on how the attacker is. If you're on treacherous ground, you get a -1. If you're above the guy, you get +1. If you're in the target side facing, that's the rear side. The front 3 hexes are front facing. You have 2 rear side and you have 1 rear. You get +5 to hit somebody if you're in their rear side facing, and you get +10 to hit them if you're in their rear. So if you can get behind someone, do.
Makes a big difference,
Yeah. And again, there's other modifiers on the effect of the target. So if the attacker is charging 3 or more yards, he will get +1 to hit. But if the target is the guy who's charging you, you get +2 to hit him. Because he's moving and trying to hit you. Yes, he gets a speed bonus, but you are standing still preparing to meet him, so you have a higher chance of hitting him than he has of hitting you. If you do charge somebody and successfully hit your target, you add your BMA to your strength to see if your strength bonus increases. Okay? And finally, you may get a critical success or a critical failure. If your BCS is 19 or less, on a 20, it's a critical failure. If your BCS is 20 or more, then a 20 is just a normal failure. Normally, if your BCS is 2 to 14 and you roll a 1, it's a critical. If your BCS is 15 to 24, a 1 or 2 is a critical, and so on. So, these all affect your chances to hit. Okay, so let's pick some tokens for people. So if you go back to the sheet, does anyone have a picture of their character, or is there any token on there that you'd like to use for your character?
So the guy you've used for short range, the bald monk, suits my character. This guy here.
Okay.
Like this dude here.
Fair enough.
One of them works for my guy. I picture him just like that, Shaolin monk.
Okay, well if I take that and make that Kyūryū.
You could use him.
I'll just put those onto the GM layer, and I can keep them as. So that's controlled by me and Oliver. Save settings. Okay, so Kyūryū, hopefully you will be able to move your character around. Try moving it, Oliver.
Yes, indeed, Chief.
Okay, right. Anybody else have a favourite? Hachirō? I did put some Shugenja ones on there.
Is this one with the blue outline?
Blue or red? I mean, blue could be water, red could be fire. There's another
metal, but there's a monkey type, and I'll take the guy with the red robe with blue outline.
So him.
Yes.
Him. Yep. Fair enough. Okay, so that's Hachirō. And make sure the nameplate works and everybody can see it, and controlled by
Richard.
And me.
Is that Kyūryū? How do I pronounce that? Kyūryū.
Kyūryū, isn't it?
Kyūryū. Okay.
Kyūryū.
Kyūryū.
Kyūryū. He's a physician, actually, not a budoka.
Dave,
Yes.
I'll take the token that's out on his own to the left. Our left, as we look at the screen.
Him.
That's the same guy we're using for the party.
That guy. No, that's the party on the main map. This is the battle map. Okay, so this is Kinzo. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Controlled by Dave and Kinzo. And just make sure. Yep, that's fine. So, can you make sure you can move that, Tim?
Well, if you stop moving.
All right, I'll stop moving. I'll take my hands off him. Okay. Jolly good. Right. Who are we left? Ichijō and Ichijō.
Ichijō. I mean, we had a spear guy here before, but it was kind of a European knight, more like.
How about that guy?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. Nameplate controlled by Ichijō and Dave W. Save settings. Okay, try moving him.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. And we may as well have one for Kosa. Do you want that one, Nick? Or do you want a different one?
Any will do, Dave. Any will do.
Okay, we'll make that one Kosa. Save settings. Okay, so that is the party going forward. Let me just move the rest of them out of the way. And I will stick those up on the GM layer as well. GM layer. Okay. And we also need... That's what I wanted. Ye gods, this is so slow compared to home. GM layer. 1 second. Let me just move all the GM stuff over to one side so it's out of the way. And finally, so we have a girl. I suppose we'd have a boy. You'd hate for him to have died before you got there. And that's controlled by the GM. So, and then finally, so let's move you all to the edge of the map to the south. Okay, so Kosa is off guarding the, standing behind a bush guarding the stuff. You lot are all making your way further up. And the little girl is running ahead of you.
I'll charge off after the little girl.
Well, let's face it, you're all running a lot faster than she is. Right, I don't actually have a boar token to hand, so I shall just use a different one. When it finally makes up its mind to get there.
Yeah, Ichijō would be...
Finally. And it's
furthest
no,
back
not...
in the group, most likely. You're looking if anybody else gets rushed by a boar.
It's not a giant. So we'll put it down there.
Doesn't need to be giant to kill you pretty quick.
Yep. Okay. So... Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum.
There's a boar that killed Baratheon.
Very true.
Right, so hopefully you should see on the left, I've just popped up a turn tracker.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I believe Ichijō has 2 action phases. Yes, 10 and 5. So you have a secondary action phase on a 5. So that's 10. And a 5. Now, I just need to call something else up. Okay. Descending. Okay. So, as you kind of charge up, you can hear a kind of screaming coming from in the distance. About there, perchance. Okay. So, Ichijō. It's your base action phase. What do you wish to do? You can take a basic action, primary action, or secondary action. Your
Can we
choice.
actually see the boar?
You can hear it off in the distance.
But I can't see it.
You can't see it at the moment. There are bushes and trees in the way.
Is
But
it
you can
possible
make out there is an open area ahead. So you could probably safely run into the open area and then look from there.
Right, okay.
So, what do you wish to do? What is your base movement allowance?
It's 5.
Okay. So if you have a look at the combat actions tab, you can either walk forward 5, you can run 10, you can't charge because you don't know where it is, so you can't charge in a straight line. But you can walk forward 5 or you can run forward 10.
Maybe worth just running out into the open as fast as possible.
Okay, in that case, move yourself forward 10 hexes.
There we go.
And what weapon are you carrying?
My spear, my jari.
Aha! Right. So, in that case, we need to give you an engagement range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 foot. So let me just put that on for the time being. We can get rid of it when everybody's familiar with it, but for the time being, that's just to remind you your engagement range.
Okay.
4 hexes away. So that's Ichijō. Kosa, you are sitting on a box, I believe, looking over a bush and wishing them luck. Correct? Kyūryū. Sorry.
I'll just keep an eye out, basically.
Okay. You're just watching to make sure this isn't all a distraction and this is a cunning plan to rob you. Okay, over to Kyūryū.
I am marching on with Ichijō. So one.
What's your BMA?
Oh, I've got to check this, right. Give me 2 seconds to pull this sheet up. Right, where do I find this?
You'll find it in column L on row 11.
Yep.
Base movement allowance.
Base movement on 7.
So you can either walk 7 or run 14 or anywhere between the two.
Running.
If you run 14, you'll end up 4 hexes ahead of Ichijō, or you can run up next to Ichijō and jog together as a group of compatriots.
I'm running. He's jogging.
Okay, fine. He's running as well, by the look of it.
No, I'm running. Yeah. I'm gonna go see this little girl.
And what are you armed with?
We didn't discuss it with these hands, bro. With these hands.
Oh, so you are using your just your Wara or?
I thought I was playing I thought I was playing a Shaolin monk here. These hands, mate. These hands.
Fair enough. Okay. So in that case, you are engagement range, short range.
Yeah, 1.
No, 2.
Oh, is it? Okay.
You're -2. Sorry, -1 at range 2, but effectively, that's your engagement range. So anybody.
Would I have a weapon, Dave?
You could have bought some Yawara. I apologise, we did not do that. Yawara add plus to your effect number, and they are available. So you can have a couple of Yawara. Okay.
So it's a Yawara.
It's basically a dumbbell with you hold it in your hand. You've got a bulge of wood at each end of your hand, and you use that to hit them. So you get +2 on your damage or on your effect numbers.
Yeah,
it's a martial arts weapon.
Sounds good.
Fair enough.
I've got that.
Okay. Ichijō, if you were to start fighting, you'd have a restriction. You'd have a distraction at the moment because Kyūryū is in your area of engagement. Kinzo, what are you doing? Running forward?
No, I'm going to prepare my Yawara and tell the little girl to stay where she is.
Ah, right, fine. Okie doke. So Yawara, Kinzo is going to be short range as well. Let me just put that on.
I don't know about the other gents, but I can see my engagement ring, but I can't see it.
Yeah,
I'm just putting theirs on now that we know who's using what. I'm just making them visible. Okay. So that's to give you an idea to keep in or out of each other's engagement range and at what point you're engaging someone. One little point of interest. Ichijō, using your spear, if you engage Kyūryū, you'll notice you can hit him, he can't hit you. Because he's engaged, the only movement he can do is to move 1. You can take a combat action of striking him and moving 1 away. So if you engage somebody just at the perimeter of your range, you can actually cause some problems.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they can choose to run through it either way, or get some kind of roll for it.
Well, they can disengage and then kind of charge you so they can get in close. So somebody with a short range weapon would normally want to get in close with somebody with a long range weapon.
Right.
Somebody with a long range weapon, you'll try to keep them away. Okay? But that's just a bit of... Tactics are important in Bushido. Okay. The boar... Grunt, 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 snuffle, 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 rage. The people who've emerged can now see the boar, and the boar is up there. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Ichijō. Secondary action phase. if you have a look at the actions available on a secondary action phase, under combat actions, you'll see that moving is not one of them.
Right.
Unless you're doing... Okay?
So
you can only move on your basic action phase or a primary action. Okay? So, all through the secondary action phases, Kinzo. And no, you can't actually do anything either. You're preparing, you've given instructions. The girl...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And then we have Hachirō. It is your basic action phase. What do you wish to do?
Running forward 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I allowed to do that?
Okay. What are you armed with? Your Tanto?
Shuriken.
Ah, Shuriken. Right.
Oh. Shuriken's a ninja star, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not a ninja star.
It's
just
a throwing thing.
it's a throwing star that anyone can use.
A throwing star, sorry, not a ninja star. Yeah, sorry, I
Yes.
forget we're right in that culture, right in that canon. Sorry, not a ninja star, a throwing star. Sorry, I grew up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So you're using Shuriken as your primary weapon?
Yes.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I have no intention of getting within arm's reach. And I've got a couple of spells as well. But as I'm coming forward, I've got a spell for a sword as well, which I'll be hopefully showing you later.
Can I actually ask about that as well? In this world, how is people using magic? Is that like quite common, or it's not seen as strange?
It's everybody knows that spirits exist, ghosts, oni, demons. They exist. The kami are spirits, and Gakusho placate them, and they persuade them to do things, and they protect people from them. And they can also exorcise them. Shugenja are able to use magic for on humanity's side, but they're generally not trusted because magic is tricksy and they're not really trusted. But you know, if a Gakusho is not available to exorcise that ghost, then you will pay a Shugenja to do it.
So Shugenjas are, I don't know, one per village, pretty much, in common.
Normally, Shugenja tend to either accumulate in groups so they can teach each other, or they're off investigating new spells in the wilderness. They have this love for power and growing their abilities and so on. I mean, Gakusho work for the good of their flock and the people of Nippon. Shugenja tend to work for themselves. That's the general view. Okay?
I was mostly thinking, like, for somebody who's a farmer in a village like this, how many would he have grown up seeing, for example?
Oh, you know Shugenja are around because you have seen them over in Lord Kanawa's place. They kind of come in and they teach people. They teach some of the more esoteric arts. They teach people to write kanji characters and so on. And yes, you do know that Hachirō displayed an unbecoming interest in becoming a Shugenja, and he succumbed to their temptations.
All right.
Okay.
It's quite simple. He's probably the only Shugenja we've got in the village.
Yes, basically. He's the only one you know at the moment. Okay. So he's rushed forward, and he's just going to use his shuriken. Okay. I'm just trying to remind myself what the range of shuriken is. I think is it strength?
2 times his strength saving throw, or thereabout.
Shuriken jutsu. That's it. You can throw it up to your strength saving throw. Actually, did I write it down? I think I did, didn't I? On the combat tab. Let me just check and see under the missiles. Bushido. Combat modifiers. Missiles.
Is there shuriken range? Is it NA on list of weapons?
Yeah.
Am I looking at the wrong tab?
No, I didn't put the shuriken in. Basically, you can throw shuriken to a maximum of your 2 times your strength saving throw. What's your strength saving throw?
Base saving throw is 3.
So you can throw it up to 6 hexes at -4. You can throw it up to 4 hexes at -2. You can throw it up to 3 hexes at normal chance of success, but you add a step to the damage. Okay.
Good lord, so it is a melee weapon almost.
It's a close range weapon for somebody with low strength. And your strength isn't high, is it?
Alright, I'm going to be casting this sword pretty quick then. I hadn't realised it'd be that close, but okay, good to know.
You need to learn how to cast that spell.
Oh, yes. I've just got the scroll, haven't I?
You go have the scroll. You need to persuade your cohorts to let you learn it. Okay, so anyway, so you've moved forward and you're preparing your shuriken. Okay, the boar has a chance of noticing you. And let's roll a d20. No, the boar does not notice you. Ichijō, your base action phase, you can run forward 10 if you wish. You can see the boar, it's much more than 10 away.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna run up 10 right here.
Okay. And
I think that was 10 at least.
Well, I'll count it for you. You're 4 behind me. So you're here too.
well, it's currently 17 hexes away, so it's a fair bit away.
9. One more. You've got one more.
Okay then, there we go.
Okay. Kosa sits and watches. Kyūryū.
Just as a really small point, in the plants that appear to be trees, they've got the brown dots in the centre.
The brown dots, those are the tree trunks.
Those are the trunks, I thought so. So are you able to run underneath the foliage of the trees?
You can
unlike
run under.
bushes?
You can run underneath the foliage, but when you're under the foliage, that counts as a restriction.
Yeah, so if you've got your melee weapons and you've got the dangers above and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And also on Roll20, is there a way to move everyone's photos and names?
The names along the along the bottom. If you go to your My Settings, top right, the gear wheel.
Yeah.
Click on that, and go to audio and video.
Yeah.
Click on video display.
Okay. Yeah.
And then player video avatar size.
Yeah, I put names
Got
on
it.
Change that
Names
to
only.
names only. And then player video avatar location, you can choose to put it on the bottom or the top.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, makes life a little bit easier to see.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's Kyūryū. Kinzo. Running forward 14?
No, I'm going to tell the girl to go and stand with Kosa, then I'm going to move forward 7.
Okay, fine. The girl at the end of last round would have stood still, and now at the end of this round she'll go and stand with Kosa. Okay? Okay. Boar, again, sniffs around and kind of is still interested in the tree. Second reaction phases, and Hachirō's basic action phase. So you can run forward, Hachirō.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go.
Okay. Right, so...
I'm doing that thing, aren't I? I'm counting aloud as I'm moving. That's
Nothing wrong with counting aloud.
I do that too.
Right, so the boar is now 24 feet from Kyūryū, so the boar will again check to see whether he notices Kyūryū. And let me just double check that. I don't think that's going to be successful. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum.
Sure, sneak if he's running away. If we're running.
No. The present moment, Well, now you're close. It doesn't actually look like a massive boar. Looks relatively young. Okay. So the boar hasn't noticed on a 9. That is unless Kyūryū was screaming a battle cry as he ran. Was he?
Well, it depends. Is the boar like at the bottom of the tree and the boy's up the tree safe? Like the boar's not getting him?
The boy is hanging from a branch.
Oh, right.
He's
no,
not
okay.
six.
Then I will shout at the boar and try to distract it from the boy.
In that case, the boar does notice you on its round, and it will. Let's see. So it's going to. Hang on a second. Let me just put a boar name tag on there so there's no doubt what it is. Save settings. Okay, so it will use 2 of its movement allowance to turn to face you. And 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it will close, but it can't actually strike you.
Haha.
Okay. Fair enough. So, you are going to attempt to strike it severely, yes?
Yeah, I don't want to kill it though. Kyūryū doesn't eat animals, he's a beginner. So he just wants to knock it out. Subdual damage.
Well, that's what you will be doing anyway, as a matter of course.
Okay.
Okay. So, you are striking it. It is AC 4, so therefore you are going to reduce your base chance of success by 4. So what's your BCS with your Atemiwaza?
Give me 2 seconds then to find that. We will find that on the sheet.
Okay, if you look...
Atemiwaza, right, yeah.
Okay, if you look under Atemiwaza, you'll have final BCS.
12.
Okay, so it did not... Looking at the list of combat modifiers, you haven't got any restrictions. There's none of your allies within your range.
I've got trees in my line though. Is that not a restriction or is that not a distraction?
You've got a distraction from that bush, and you haven't got a distraction from that tree because that's a large tree and therefore its branches are above arm height.
Alright, yeah, so they're not in
Yes.
the way. Got you? Yeah.
So you've got 1 distraction, so therefore -4 for the armor class, -1 for the distraction. Any other bonuses that you'd like to claim? You're not on treacherous ground, you're not above it, you're not behind it.
I'm smarter than it.
It's not surprised. No, I think you're not charging, it's not charging, so it's -5.
Have you added your level to your Atemiwaza BCS?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why you've got the base BCS. If you look at your sheet, Kinzo, you'll see you've got your base BCS, and then your final BCS is your base BCS plus your level.
Oh, yeah, fine. I was just making sure that Richard understood that he'd got to add his level to it or something.
Yes, yeah. Well, I've included that on the spreadsheet, so it'll go automatically when he reaches 2nd level.
That's far too clever.
Okay, so your final BCS is going to be 12 -5, so you need to roll 7 or less on a d20 to hit. Roll your dice.
Come on!
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Atemiwaza, you're doing, your damage is 1d6. With your Wara, you also do +2. So you're going to be doing 1d6 +2 of subdual damage to
7
it.
subdual damage.
Don't you add your level as a Budoka?
Oh, my apologies. Yes, plus your level. True.
8 subdual damage.
8 subdual damage. Oof. It knows it's been it. Wallop.
My name is
Okay.
Kyūryū. I am here to knock you out. Leave you in peace.
Okay, let me just amend that. So, 8 subdual damage. Fine. And next on the campaign list, we have Kosa. There was a nasty roar from the boar. And over to Kyūryū. Oh, sorry, no, that was Kyūryū. My apologies. Yep. So, Kinzo.
I shall run forward to the bush and I'll show you.
Fair enough. Run forward then. Okay.
Done.
You're keeping outside Ichijō's engagement range to avoid distracting you.
Well, I've not seen him fight yet.
Okay. The boar gets a second reaction and will try to gore you.
Doesn't Ichijō get a go? And
Ichijō had a go. He went before Kyūryū on his base action phase, but he's not moving as Kyūryū's basically been running ahead at 14.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
slow.
I'm just-
Ichijō's been doing 10. Yes.
Yeah.
So Boar will have a strike at its victim. Let's see if it's worth calculating. On an 18, no, not even worth calculating. So, Ichijō has his second reaction phase, as does Kosa, as does Kyūryū, as does Kinzo, and Hachirō gets to rush forward on his base action phase.
Certainly does.
Okay. And I
that right?
believe...
Yeah. What about that little bush, that little plant? That didn't cause much hindrance. did it?
No, you just ran through it. Unfortunately, you are 8 hexes away, which I believe is your maximum engagement range. Or is it 6? What's your strength saving throw?
Sorry?
What's your strength saving throw?
Base
3?
saving throw is 3.
Right. I'm afraid your saving throw of 3 means your maximum range is 6 hexes. You won't be able to hurl shuriken at it next time.
Just yet.
Okay. The boar will attempt to rip Kyūryū.
It's gonna miss again, watch. Oh no!
Oh!
no.
No!
Gotcha. And Kyūryū takes 5 points of lethal damage.
Okay, right, where's that on the sheet?
why are you rolling a d12, Dave?
I rolled a d8. I rolled a d12 by mistake. Oh, hang on. No, sorry, my apologies. That was a d12 to hit. You are correct.
Supposed to roll a d20.
So, but a 6 is still a hit.
That's still a bit
Alright.
So that's 5 lethal.
Right, where's my hit points on my character sheet, David?
Okay, if you have a look in the combat area, that's row 17. You'll see that you've got your permanent hit points in column H,
got it.
and then below that you've got lethal damage taken.
What
You can
was
just
that?
put there in there 5.
Got you.
Yep.
Cheers, bro. Yep.
Okay. Right. So we've had the boar. Ichijō, your base action phase, you can have a strike at full strength. Sorry, you can move up. Now you can charge.
Yeah, so
Up to twice your movement and strike,
Yeah.
or you can move half your movement to an engage.
Right,
So
well,
you could move 5.
currently in a slightly... he seems to be quite agitated or somewhat terrified, more like.
Okay.
He charges the boar and tries to hit it on the 3 squares away, so that he's on the 0. I think this is it.
Well, you're going to be there. So that's on the 0, because that's a straight line from where you were. Okay. Okay. So you charge, and on 2 you will get to have your strike.
Okay.
You are lucky that it is engaged with Kyūryū, and therefore isn't going to charge you, attack you. Okay, Kosa, you sit and watch. Kyūryū, you get to strike.
Yes, let's go.
So, same again. Your base.
Damage.
So your base action phase is your BCS is 12, and you're currently. Unfortunately, Ichijō is now in your engagement range.
That's one distraction.
So that's a distraction. Try making a will saving throw.
Ooh,
Roll a d20 and get low.
Okay.
You need to roll below 4.
That was not very good.
That's all right. You don't manage to ignore Ichijō, so therefore you're currently -6.
-6 on my attack.
Yep.
Roll the d20 for attack, eh?
Yep. So you are 12. So you need a. You hit
Hey,
again!
come on! Hey!
Yep.
This is a big fucking punch in the face to this boar, right? Damage?
Okay.
What do I roll?
D6 plus 3.
Let's go. 6 damage.
6 damage. Fine. The boar is still there.
Oh my.
It's kind of staggering a bit, but it's still there.
Can I finish it off? Do I have any more actions this round?
Later on this round, yes.
Hey.
Kinzo? Are you going to be circling around behind the tree? I thought you might.
Hey.
Okay. The boar will have a second reaction to try and strike you.
It's gonna miss.
And a 7 is a miss.
See?
Hachirō. Oh, sorry, no. You charge, so therefore you go on a 2. Kosa, nothing. Kyūryū.
I didn't charge. I was just a run
I did.
because I didn't engage.
Oh, my apologies. Yes. We haven't got to Hachiro's basic action phase.
Nope.
So.
What height are these 2 trees to the bottom right of the boar? They're
bushes.
bushes? So yeah.
Those are
Oh,
bushes.
That's the tree.
Yep.
So
you can,
if I
you
ran
can, you can,
in a straight line,
you can see the head of the boar, but you can't see the rest of the boar. So you're going to be at minuses for cover.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can throw it. What's my base rate? Oh, sorry guys. It's a maximum of 6. I can throw a shuriken.
Yes, but you want to get close as possible. Preferably your strength saving throw away. So if your strength saving throw is 3, you want to be 3 hexes away from it.
So if I go to here and engage,
you can't see it. There's a bush in the way.
that's what,
It's a relatively small boar.
to charge. I've got to go in a straight line, haven't I?
You can't charge with shuriken.
Oh, I
Because
see.
you've basically got to move up, and then on your base action phase next time, throw your shuriken.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I was there. How do you do that thing where you go around the corner?
If you change facing, that uses up one of your move. So if you've got a move if you're moving 6 hexes, then it takes one of those hexes to change 60 degrees.
I mean, can I stand there? Or is that bush stopping me?
You can. No, that bush is stopping. You'd need to be
That
back
bush is
1.
stopping me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Aye, so bushes are ground level, so you can't step on that hex. So.
And
Those are-
going in
no-
here
no-
is just going to make it worse for everyone else, isn't it?
Yes, but it gives you a chance, doesn't it?
It must be about dead, man. I just punched shit out of it twice, like.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I get between these guys? Can I go?
Oh yes. Well, that's a tree. You can just go underneath that tree, can't you?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go there, and then I'll be able to come around next time and get it,
Yes. From behind as well.
and get those bonuses. If it's
Okay.
still alive. I'm depending on
Kinzo.
the bones, I'm scared of it.
Secondary action phase, nothing. So that's Hachirō. Okay, the Boar is going to take another slash. And your armor class 1, yes? It's got a distraction. It's got a restriction of 1, so that's 2. So that's a hit.
Ooh. Where does the armor class, by the way?
Isn't the armor class 2, sir?
Oh, oh, you were going to remind me that Budoka add their level to their.
Where do I see my armor class?
Oh, no. If he's using a bonus skill, everybody adds their level to it.
Oh God, forget it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am rusty on this, so thank you. So in that case, your peasant garb has been ripped quite badly, but the tusks just missed you.
Nice. Sorry, where do I see my armor class on the character sheet, by the way?
If you have a look on your equipment list,
Which is
Yep.
roughly on the sheet.
column O,
Yep.
because you haven't got any armor on, you're just wearing peasant garb. Peasant garb is armor class 1. So you get armor class 1 from your peasant garb.
I suppose you could write that into the combat area as well. 'Cause that's a writable thing on there. Armor
Yep.
class 1.
Okay. So Ichijō. Oh, my apologies. Ichijō should have got his spear at the end of the last round. So your charge, you add +1 to your attack, Ichijō, with your spear. You have one.
I have a few distractions here.
You have one distraction from that bush. That bush is supposedly within your range, but if you hit that, you'd hit that. So we're ignoring that. You've got the branches of the tree there. You've got the branches of the tree there, and you've got Kyūryū. So you've got 1, 2, 3 restrictions and a distraction. Try making a will saving throw to ignore the distraction. So roll a d20.
I got 20.
You got a 20. You did not manage to ignore the distraction. Just be grateful you didn't roll that when you were trying to hit. Okay, so you got -4 on your.
Wait, sorry. It
Yep.
says rolling 20. I think you've rolled the dice wrong. It doesn't say rolling 1d20, it says rolling 20.
True.
That's true. Okay. 18 anyway. Okay. Yeah, it's
Okay.
bad anyway.
Fair enough. Well spotted. So you have 1 distraction, 1, 2, 3 restrictions. That's -4. You've got -4 for its armor class, which is -8. You get +1 for charging, so that's -7. And I think that's it.
He could choose to thrust, which gives him +1.
True, but that then
Blows
true
his-
that blows his action for the rest of the round, doesn't it?
No, because he's charging.
Oh, true. Yes, true. All right, add another +1.
Spear out, just thrusts with it, because
Okay.
that way it's less likely to cause damage to anybody else.
Go for it.
Should I just roll a d20 -6?
Roll a d20
How
and
do
see
I-
if you roll a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or something. An 18, I'm afraid.
Wow.
No, that's a miss. Kosa.
Alright.
Carries on
But
watching.
that was the last round though, so now we're going.
Sorry, that was. Yeah, my apologies.
This time.
Yeah,
so
it's
now
this round. So now you have your attack this time. So roll again.
Yeah. Do I get to re-roll for the save, or is it just once?
If you want to try and ignore Kyūryū, then roll a will saving throw again.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no reason not to, right?
Go ahead. Try rolling a low number. Nope. Roll to hit. Hit! Congratulations! It's not. You don't have a. It's not. Your BCS isn't high enough for that to be a critical. If your BCS was 15 or more, then that would be a critical, but it's not. So your damage with your wooden yari
is 1d10 minus 1. However, I have +1 from my strength.
Correct.
Nice.
Aha!
Congratulations! You catch it in the eye, well, between the eyes, and it collapses to the ground. Your mighty spear has knocked the boar out completely.
Hey.
You gain the Buddha.
Okay then.
Okay, that boar was worth 1 Buddha. Since you were the one who knocked it out, you gain 1 Buddha.
Aww.
Anyone else who was involved in the fight shares half a Buddha. So in that case, Kyūryū gets half a Buddha point. So, on your character sheet, at the top, in cell L4, you can add 1 Buddha, which you have for Ichijō, and add 0.5 Buddha for Kyūryū.
Okay.
Okay, I will just change that.
All the work. That's fine.
That's the
Can't
way.
believe I didn't get any Budo from running through a tree.
Unfortunately, Hachirō, you don't get Budo. You get Shugendo. If you use your magical skills, you get Shugendo for it. You may help destroy a boar using your shuriken, but it doesn't earn you any Shugendo. Another reason for you to learn your spells.
Kinzo will run round and help the little lad out the tree.
Okay. He is very grateful to you all and thanks you vociferously, and rescuing him from the boar, and he wants to go home. And what are you doing with the boar?
Leaving it.
I mean, Ichijō would, well, he would want to try to finish it off, because he does not mess with beasts and animals. Unpredictable things.
Perfectly acceptable.
Kyūryū will walk away. He's a pacifist.
Do you wish to be a devout Buddhist or devout Shintoist?
He's definitely a vegan. He doesn't eat anything with a face or anything that shits.
Yeah, but do you wish to be a devout Buddhist? There are bonuses and penalties for being a devout Buddhist. There is a note on it somewhere in the rules. I'll dig it out for you, and you can have a think about it. But anyway,
think about it next week then.
Okay, Ichijō is going to pull out a tanto and slit its throat.
Yeah.
He's actually going to have the spear which you stab him with, and in a frantic way stab him until he doesn't move at all.
I'm sorry. Your spear does subdual damage.
Oh,
correct?
Does it?
No, it's a wooden training spear.
Ah, okay. I thought it had like a pointed tip. Okay.
No, you didn't say you were going to collect your yari from the garrison, unlike certain other characters who did.
Oh yeah, I just thought it was like a pointed wooden spear. That's all. All right.
No, it does subdual damage.
All right.
Then
I would stab it with the tanto instead.
Yeah. It's weighted like a yari, and it acts like a yari, so you're only -1 BCS using it, but it does subdual damage.
Right.
Okay. Now, does anybody in the party have hunting?
Yes.
Nope.
So let's
No.
butcher it.
Okay. Well, you can certainly kind of bleed it out, and you know what to do to get it into fit state for taking back. Do you want to make a hunting skill roll?
I mean, I could attempt it.
No, not you.
Or-
You don't have the hunting skill. But Kosa does.
Oh, yeah, okay, but nobody did.
Is that a successful skill roll?
I think so. It's exactly, I'm on... Yes, makes it just...
Congratulations, then. You didn't need to find this one. It was laying out there waiting for you to slit it and take out its innards. And
Give it easier.
okay. There is about 30 pounds weight of ball there that you may wish to...
Yeah, well, I'm just going to... I can't take all that lot. I'll just take some choice bits. If anybody else wants any, that's up to them.
if the boy sees you, he suggests you take some back for his father. He would be very grateful for meat in their diet.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Did someone get hit as well and lost hit points?
Yeah, I did.
Unless someone about recovering hit points.
Correct. So, Ichijō is indeed bleeding. Is there a physician in the party who wishes to do something about that?
No, it
Certainly is.
was me that got hit, I think, not it.
Yeah, I
Sorry, my apologies. It's Kyūryū who got it. My apologies.
So you
yes.
got gored. Yeah.
Yep.
There is indeed. I don't have a physician's kit though, so what's the...
That's difficult. You can use your physician's skill, but you can't gain any benefit for the extra benefit from having a kit.
Okay.
So you can attempt to BCS to kind of wash the wounds out and deal with them.
Final BCS is 12 then.
So roll for
For
it.
physician. So I roll a d20, yeah?
Yep, roll a d20.
Six.
Congratulations. Get 1 hit point back,
Hey,
Ichijō.
thank you.
Okay. I'm afraid, Kyūryū, you are going to have to amend your peasant garb to say that it's basically damaged.
Ruined.
Not ruined, but it doesn't look as good as it did.
So how do I adjust my hit points in the sheet? What do I do? Just reduce the 5 to 4.
Reduce the 5 to 4. At the present moment, you've taken 4 lethal damage, so you only have 23 permanent hit points at the moment.
Okay.
You need to recover those using your healing rate.
Okay, and to do this with my peasant garb, it's on equipment.
Change that to what's the name of it? Poor peasant garb. Basically, it will give you minuses on your status when you talk to people because you're wearing kind of inferior clothing.
It's not on the list.
Just in the player notes, just type in that it's poor.
Oh yeah, got you.
Yep.
Got you.
Okay. So. Right, the girl and her brother reunite. She cries with joy that he has been rescued by such brave hunters who killed that nasty boar. So, sir, confirms that the the packs have not been messed with by any bandits. You pick them up. You carry on towards Shibuka village.
Hey.
1 second while I move you all back to the campaign map. Okay. And they lead you into the village, and they lead you to one of the houses and calling out, "Mummy, Mummy!" The mother comes out to see what on earth her kids are creating about. They explain that you saved Paper Tiger from a vicious boar, out in the woods. She tells them off for going out into the woods. They weren't supposed to go there. She's very cross with them. But she then thanks you very much for rescuing her child and asks whether you would stay to dinner and where are you from? And actually, hang on a second. Wit saving throw. She may well recognise you because you are just out of the garrison. The bonus is yes, she does in fact recognise you from being in the garrison last year, and therefore thanks you even more, invites you to stay for a meal, and sends her daughter off to go and tell the head of the guards, who duly turns up and congratulates you for your efforts on dealing with a menace in the woods, and then tells the mother off for letting her children wander into the woods without somebody to guard them. Okay. You all go to see Uncle's cousin, who is delighted to see you. Oh, by the way, did you all add your 2 copper to your money?
Oh,
Not yet.
Don't forget to add your 2 copper.
There's money in the list of equipment.
Okay. Were you carrying some boar, Kosa?
Sorry, where on the sheet is the gold? The
Gold, silver, and copper is at the top, column H. H345.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Add 2 copper, weighs you down even more. Well, it's all right. Uncle acquired a fair bit of copper from that Shugenju who wanted to reduce his load.
To mutter, grumble, mutter.
I'm sorry, when you deal with money changes, you have to expect to pay to change your coinage.
Just the way it is.
Okay. So, the cousin is quite happy to get the stuff, and will kind of point you in the direction of his warehouse, and you can offload it carefully. And he will check the seals, and then thank you very much, and reads the note that Uncle sent, tucked into one of them, looks at it again, sighs heavily, and pays you another copper each.
Do you have any goods that need returning?
Yes, but I'm only going to pay you 2 copper a day. I'm not... that guy's going to go bankrupt. He does in fact have about 30 pounds weight to go back. He's willing to pay you 6 copper to take them.
Is that each?
No. He has
3 more.
30 pounds weight that he wishes to go back, and he's willing to pay you 6 copper to take them. All right?
Well, I just have to ask these things, because 6 doesn't divide very easily.
Yeah, let's talk about 10 copper.
Is there an inn in this place?
Let me just check. Yes, Shibuka has got an inn.
Is there a shop?
Yes. The blessed cousin does in fact ask whether you had anything you wished to see whether he had. Uncle had said that you were looking for goods.
Indeed, I was wondering if we had a Sumi ink.
Sumi set. Would you care to roll percentile dice? I believe it's a 10% chance.
Hey!
Oh, come on.
Well, of course. Yeah, I am a kind of exquisitely provided merchant. We have only the best here. That will be a mere. Where's the Sumie set? A Sumie set. That will set you back 4 silver.
Mm-hmm.
He also has the paper and ink if you wish more. The Sumie
The base set has some, doesn't it?
The base set has enough for 10 sheets of paper and includes 10 sheets of paper.
Lovely jubbly. Oh, how heavy is it?
It weighs a pound.
0.5. 0.5, excuse me.
I'm sorry, a Sumie set weighs for what, 0.5?
0.5. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at ink. I do apologise.
So, where are you going to put it?
£1, that's just it, yeah. Where about number 1?
Well, it's going to be in your luggage, isn't it?
It is. What does that mean?
Well, put an X in your luggage.
Okay.
There.
Oh, I see.
And then, unfortunately...
Does that take me over? 10.4, damn it.
Yes. You need to get your strength up. You need a month's strength training. You're going to have a quiet word with somebody else in the party, aren't you?
Well, he might be all right once we've been to the inn and slept overnight.
You mean his strength might go up? You mean?
No, his weight will go down because his wallet will be lighter.
I'm not noticing voices yet, but I'm going to remember that voice. I was going to ask about a lockpick as well, but
do you wish to ask about a lockpick?
I do. That's only 10% though, so
yes.
Chances again, but give it a go.
Roll the dice.
Oh, come on!
Fucking hell.
So, I'll tell you, if I'd reached that boar, it would have been dead.
You won't have a weight problem soon, way submitting your money.
I will be. But
okay, a
lockpick that's 2 gold.
That's 2 gold, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Lockpick set, 2 gold, and what's his weight? £1. No, 2 gold, 6 silver.
It's a lockpick set is. Where are we? 2 gold and 6 silver. Yes. Well, that's 8 coins you won't have to carry.
There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I might have to ask one of you guys to help, but it's useful stuff. I hope you all agree.
I was going to ask him as well about a Tonto.
Okay. Who's got up to £40 weight?
I had it just while we were walking.
Oh, right, fine. Oh, yep, true. You can get rid of
I got 92.
Okay. So, was somebody asking for a Tanto?
I was, yeah, and I rolled 92.
Oh dear. Sadly, no. The Lord took the last of the Tanto that I had in stock.
Yeah.
Let me just change that to that's not available as well. And he sold out of the Sumi A set and the lockpick set. Lockpick set, he would not carry more than 1. Sold out. And Sumie set. Let's check and see if he's sold out. Yes, he's sold out of the Sumie set.
Would someone be willing to carry my winter garb for me until I can sort out these arms of mine?
I'm going to get some new clothes. My peasant garb's torn to bits.
Yeah.
That boar ripped it to bits.
Oh, well, yeah, peasant garb. Yeah, yes, my boy, we have peasant garb. Mere 2 copper.
Yeah, if I could take 2 sets, so I've got a spare, please.
Certainly. Do you want me to dispose of your old ones?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind.
Certainly, no trouble at all. He quickly takes your damaged peasant garb.
Puts it on the shelf for sale, yeah.
Oh, no, you'll get somebody to repair it first, and then he'll put it on the shelf for sale. Since you've just come into spring, it might be sensible to leave your winter clothing somewhere, unless you wish to wear it to gain extra protection, because it is armor class 2.
Does he want to buy them?
Oh, what, you're offering to sell me your clothing, my boy?
The winter garb.
In spring.
It's not much call for
You want to help him?
But at this time of year, there isn't a lot of call for it. He would be prepared to offer you 2 silver.
2 silver? Take it, yep.
Sorry, 2 copper, my apologies, 2 copper.
I'm sorry, I can only accept your first answer. You're going to have to meet me halfway and do... Well, no, it's 5 copper. You'll have to meet me halfway and say 3.
Oh, I don't know about that. Do you have commerce? Do you have commerce as a skill?
No.
One second.
Willpower.
He points to the kind of defects and the fact that stitching's not particularly good, and decides that 2 copper is probably about the most that he can offer you.
No, I'll hold on to this.
You're holding on to it?
It's an unfair offer, and I think we know this.
He looks upset that you would accuse him of trying to cheat you.
No, I wasn't accusing. You're accusing yourself by offering 2 copper.
I'm not going to be able to sell it for kind of another 9 months. It's going to be taking up space on the shelves. It's not going to earn me any money. You know, I'm in debt for my stock, and I'm charged interest on it. I'm losing money on it. I mean, even at 2 copper, I'm losing money. Oh yes. You know, I have to buy things on credit and until I can sell them. You know, I have such top quality goods. How often do you think people come in and ask to buy a Sumie set? Meanwhile, somebody turns up at the back of your group. Another of the guards to say that Lord Kanawa has heard of your exploits in the forest and wishes to know whether you have any boar that would be available for his meal this evening.
If we've got some left, he's welcome.
Wow. How to make friends and influence people.
The cousin looks aghast, as does the infantryman who's turned up to pass on to ask whether you have any.
I would suggest that we do have some left.
Yeah, and it's not eating all the stuff to be carried, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, how much did you actually take? There was 30 pounds of meat available.
We'll have taken all of it.
Yeah, I think the other two could probably carry it all between you, couldn't you?
Yeah, we could carry it all between us, yeah?
Yes, I will give him
Okay.
a decent...
Fair enough. Well, to be honest, you could have gone partially encumbered, and you would still have been going faster than Hachirō.
Yeah. Dave, once we've finished discussing things with the merchant, we'll head over to the inn and take a room for the night.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That is actually going to be cheaper because you're getting fed elsewhere, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We've been fed as far as I can tell.
Oh, no. You've not been fed yet. She's asked you for a meal.
But, okay. No.
But you had to take the stuff to the cousin to offload, and then there's been bargaining. So you haven't yet taken the boar back to give to the mother to spice up your rice. That's if you want to.
Oh, by all means.
Yeah. Okay. Night at the inn will cost you. It would normally be 3 copper, but that includes the meal, so that's 2 copper for the night at the inn. They do have a bathhouse if you want to use it. That would be another copper.
Certainly do.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
The bathhouse.
Yeah.
I'm covered in
Okay.
blood.
Okay. And the Ashigaru is willing to take up to £10 at 1 copper a pound.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Just for a bit of context, when I was arguing over a couple of copper pieces, then it sounds like a copper isn't actually that much. How much is like a meal, a day's meal? Is
A
1
meal?
copper, right?
A meal is 1 copper, yes.
1 day's rice. Or I was just wondering
Yes.
how much I was arguing over that, whether I was saving face or not.
Oh no, copper is valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, you may well acquire a lot of stuff in terms of loot, etc. But for the everyday person and starting out, copper is important.
Okay. So would I normally find his offer of less than half price insulting? Is that a little bit of a...
Not insulting, no. I mean, if you're trying to sell used stuff to a merchant, he's not going to buy it for more than about half price.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's something, things like weapons and so on, you may well be able to sell for more if they're good quality, or he's short of them. It depends. It depends what the goods are, but you are just into spring. It is winter garb. He's not going to offer you more than 2.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
I was just trying to get my head around the honour thing.
You haven't actually done enough for
to lose honour.
No, normal bargaining is just kind of people putting on assumed airs. You know, how can you think I would overcharge you? You cannot be serious. Blah, blah. That's just normal bargaining.
Okay, good.
Accusing somebody of being a cheat or a liar or whatever as a serious matter, that is a serious matter.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you venture over to the inn. You take a room for the night, and you've got rid of £10 of meat off to the Ashigaru. You go along to see the boy's mother. The father's back. He thanks you and gets out the sake, and you have a wonderful meal. Are you going to contribute a pound of?
Yeah, we'll give them some meat.
Okay. Well, a pound is plenty because they're used to kind of chopping it up fine and distributing it among the rice.
Don't get to eat much meat.
No.
Can we split up the 10? Since there's 5 of us, give everybody 2 each.
Can if you wish.
Yep, do that. Everybody gets 2 copper.
I mean, the person who killed it should obviously kind of... No?
If that's the case, then I can decide who it is.
Okay, so...
the honour of killing it is just reward.
Yes. The mother asks what you're going to do with the rest of the boar. Because it's only going to be good for another day or 2 before it goes off.
So how much have we got left? We moved about 11, haven't we?
You've used 11, you've got £19 left.
I would suggest we give it to the village.
Yeah.
Well,
might want to give some to the village and some directly to the Lord.
Well, the husband suggests that you could talk to the hunter, who he could smoke it.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would do.
Yeah,
You could leave it with him and pick it up next time you're back.
much more valuable preserved.
Well, since we don't know quite when we'll be back, it's probably better if they eat it rather than smoke it and then leave it to go off.
Yeah.
If you smoke it, then it's going to be good for at least a month.
Yes, but I say we don't know if we're going to be back within the month, so let them have it because it's no skin off our nose, as
And
they say.
can smoke it if they want.
Also, it won't upset our vegetarian friend quite so much.
Yeah, exactly.
True. Okay.
You really want to try to sell it to them instead. We could make a lot of money off this. It's £19, 19 coppers. I mean, it's even meat. Maybe it's even worth more.
We could, but I think it's better if we don't.
So are you going to
either give it all to the village or give it some to the village and some to the Lord, one or the other?
Well, I suggest we give it all to the village, and then if they wish to, they can give some to the Lord, which will make our lives happy.
Yep, sounds fair enough to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It puts the villagers in good favour of the Lord, and then if he asks where it came from, it puts us in good favour as well.
Okay. Well, the headman is called in and is duly grateful for the gift of the boar to the village, and he has a talk with cousin, and you have 20 copper credit with the cousin.
Thank you.
I shall thank the headman for that.
Yes. Well, coins are obviously always in short supply, but the village as a whole have arranged for you to have credit with the cousin. So if you wish to buy goods from the cousin, you have 20 copper credit.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have a quiet night in the inn while you roll in, having drunk sake and eaten rice and whatever, and generally had a good evening. Everybody is enthralled by your description of the epic battle that you went through. So let's. Cool. So second day you travel to Shibuya. So I just keep a little set of notes as to what you've done. Okay, so is there anything that you want from the cousin, or do you want to leave it there as credit for the time being?
I'll have a quiet word whilst the others talking, and with the cousin, just to say my apologies for yesterday. I meant no offence. I didn't want to lose face in front of my crew, but if he was still willing, then the peasant winter garb would be available for 2 copper.
Well, it's a day older now. He gives you 2 copper.
Look at him quite flat.
These things do wear out eventually. Even packed up in somebody's carrying kit, it does kind of.
I
wear
don't think
the
I've even
edges
worn it yet, have I?
You've just come through the winter. Yes, you have.
All right.
Does he have any bandages this time?
Oh, he will have a look and see if he has any bandages.
How do you delete a row? Looking on that green drop-down list, but it doesn't look like there's a blank.
Just click in the cell and press the delete button on the keyboard.
Delete row doesn't delete the whole row.
Oh, it does. If you're just in a cell and you press the delete button on the keyboard, it just deletes the text in the cell.
Okay.
Okay, bandages. Well, would somebody care to check and see if he has bandages? 30% chance of bandages.
I'll roll if you want.
Go ahead. Should really leave it to the wizard. He's good at rolling low numbers. Sadly, he hasn't. You can put in a word to Uncle back in the other village. Smiles quietly.
Well, that's nice, but as far as I'm aware, Uncle doesn't have any either.
Nobody actually asked him.
Yeah, that's alright. I can make it up.
Okay, fine. You're telling him. Fair enough. Okay, so you're pretending your uncle doesn't have any.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to the cousin as well.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask him if he has any jobs available that, and also that his cousin is giving a good word, because it's what he asked me to do. I think it was.
No. That was Nobioka. This was just something where people were looking for stuff and you were carrying something. And you already have a job from this guy. You're carrying 30 pounds of his stuff back to Uncle.
Back to Hachirō.
Sure.
Hachirō.
Hanamishisu.
One of these days I'll get it.
You'll get it eventually. Hanamishisu.
Hanamishisu.
Is our injured comrade fit to travel?
After a good night's sleep, he is fit to travel.
Oh, what do I rest on a night 3?
Because you're resting in an inn, because you're resting in an inn, and there's a physician. Does the physician want to attempt to help? Yes, you get an extra. So your healing rate is 4 anyway, and you were only 4 down. So you are back to normal.
Okay. So just take the lethal damage taken to 0, yeah?
To 0, yeah.
Cool.
Did we get any bandages, or was he out?
No, he didn't have any.
He hasn't got any.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Uncle when we get back, because I forgot to do that.
Fair enough. Cousin will ask if anybody else wants to buy some more peasant garb. The forests are dangerous, and boars abound.
I'm okay with the one in my spare.
Your garb might get damaged. Best be prepared. No, right.
How much is he charged?
Oh, 2 copper.
What? I 2.
Okay, I'll take a set.
Fair enough. So you now have 18 credit.
No, I'll pay that out of my own pocket.
Oh, all right. He looks slightly confused, but he's happy to take your copper. Okay. Anything else you want to do before you leave for Hanamishisu the following day?
No.
No, as long as I've cleaned up and rested, I'm good to go.
Yes, and you are in presentable clothing again.
Yeah, I've got a spare set as well now.
Jolly good. Somebody was paying attention. Okay, the following day. It seems to be getting a bit cooler, but it's still clear skies, light breeze, but good spring day.
Is this on the 4th day of the month?
This is actually Motsuki, the 3rd day. The first day you were negotiating with Uncle. The second day you travelled up to Shibuya, killed a boar, rescued the boy, and got some credit. And this is now day 3, which is third Mitsuki.
Okie dokie.
So you set forth on the road to Hanamishizu and travel down the track. And
As a matter of interest, Dave, is the river fordable?
the river is fordable at Shibuya, certainly. It's not fordable lower down. That's why there's a bridge at Hanamishizu.
Damn.
Damn?
No,
Why?
it's a bridge.
Yeah, because it would have been interesting to wander over the river and have a wander down the other side of it.
Oh, you can do that if you wish.
There must be
It's
some
outside.
spot where
It's
fordable.
outside your lord's territory, though.
No. I'm not going to break the law, not unless I have to.
Fair enough. Okay, so you wander down to Hanamishizu, and you arrive there, and nothing of untoward interest happened. Uncle is pleased to see you. Thanks you for bringing the goods from his cousin. Points at the warehouse, and you can offload them there. Well, didn't I tell you true? You know, my cousin holds all sorts of goods up there. He looks hopeful.
It does. You did very well.
Oh, good. He looks happy. Well, you seem a reliable bunch. I shall ignore the stories I heard from your father about your wilder days. Would you be prepared to take some goods up to Nobioka for me?
Oh, yeah.
I have about 60 pounds of goods that needs transporting up there.
Wait, how much did you say? How much?
64, they say.
I've got about 60 pounds of goods that needs taking there.
We can carry 60 without and still be encumbered only to the slowest guy's speed, eh?
He doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. I mean,
we can, eh?
yeah, it should be fine. I mean, some of us will be partially encumbered, but I mean, that's the way it is on the
Still
road.
not any slower than the slowest guy in the group, anyway.
Yeah, you're still faster than me, I think.
Yeah.
Even if you guys are partially encumbered, you're still faster than me.
Yeah, it's just, you know, if we get
That's the
caught
slowest thing.
unawares,
Yeah, I was-
then we might have some
When I
penalties.
was carrying the 15, I was just partially encumbered, so it's doable.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Okay.
it seems like a good idea. I'm not sure we're getting paid for it.
Well, I mean, it's probably about 2 days' journey. 4 copper for the 4 of you are carrying it. So, 16 copper. Split it up how you like.
I think possibly 18 copper, the additional services that ARPA would be providing in support to make sure they get there safely. We wouldn't want them to tire or fall ill and you lose your goods.
Yes, he's a very important part of a group, even if he isn't carrying the things.
Well, if you want to pay something out of you pay him something out of your share for making sure you get there safely. But you look like strong, strapping young lads. And I'm paying for the goods getting there safely.
Well, with the amount of pain that we're getting right now, it seems like you're barely paying for the way there. Food-wise.
What? Dear, oh dear. What do you think you are? Guards? I'm just hiring you as porters. This is a safe road. You're going through the daimyo's territory. There's nothing to worry about.
Did you not hear about the hideous, monstrous boar we had to fight on our way to Shibuya?
No?
It was a hideous thing, I tell you. All right, and we had to kill it with our.
What? There was a boar
with
charging
one of our
down the
bare
road?
hands. There was. And we had to save a few children even.
Well, if you're doing stuff on your own time, well, that's hardly part of the arrangement, is it?
Well, it was on the road, so we couldn't do much about it anyways.
Look, okay.
Whilst keeping your pack safe, whilst keeping them
18
safe
copper.
guarded.
18 copper, all right? 18 copper to get my goods to Nobioka.
Fine enough, fine enough.
We're going to have to go and get a permit.
All right, 20 copper, and we'll get the permits. I'll be taking you to get the permits, so you'll be perfectly safe. There won't be any bandits on the road who would dare face me. Look, we'll be to Ohio and back in a day, and it'll probably take you 2 days to get to Nobioka. So, 20 copper. You think I'm made of money?
Who are we taking?
Good answer that.
Who are we taking them to in Nobioka?
My nephew.
Okay.
He's got a warehouse in Nobioka on the
everywhere,
seafront. Good God, we're a big family, you know. I won't say that Mum and Dad were talking to Christian missionaries, but.
Right. Well, that seems 20 seems fine enough.
I mean, it's not much I'm asking you to carry. It's only £60. All right, is that agreed?
Agreed.
That's okay with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Be here tomorrow morning first thing, and we'll head down to Ohio Castle. And make sure you put your weapons back in the armory. I don't want any trouble with the daimyo's men while I'm there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Righty. Fair enough. So, let's just see how things are in the village. Okay, you're still in reasonably good odor, and Uncle has let your parents know that you've been reliable and good boys, and so you can get another free night at home, and Mum will cook you your. Well, she won't cook your favourite. She'll cook Dad's favourite, but you can have some of it. All right.
Right.
Okay. So that's you travelled back to Hanamishisu, carrying the goods, and that was day 3. Day 4, light cloud today. It's gentle breeze from the northwest, but it's getting cooler. Temperature's going down. There's possibly you're not out of winter yet. Just thought I'd mention it. Okay, so you are travelling the Saikaido.
Yep.
And Uncle will be travelling at a sensible speed. Dumpty-dumpty-dumpty-dum. And he's going at BMA of 6.
By the way, did somebody add the money we got for bringing the things back? You Uncle?
When you got
It's gonna
paid.
be like 3 coppers or
You
something.
got 10 coppers for bringing the goods back,
I'm not.
Okay. It's
which
2 each.
you split up to 2 each.
Right.
Well, if somebody's going to act as treasurer, then they have to carry the money. Because it does weigh. Okay. So, he's got a BMA of 6, which means that 100%, that's 12. 1, 2, 3. You get to the customs post after a quarter of the day. Hachirō, you are running hard. You are going to be suffering some dual damage. Basically, you are going to be tired out at the end of the day.
You're going to have to do something about this strength, but okay.
Well, no, it's your speed. Your BMA is only 3. So you're moving at half his speed. Everybody else is keeping up with him. You are having to run where they're walking. And basically you can go a maximum of 6 hexes and then you're going to be worn out.
Alright.
But in actual fact, it's 3 hexes there, 3 hexes back. So you're going to get back to Hanamishisu at lunchtime, but you're going to be worn out and there's going to be nothing else you can do the rest of the day, basically. Anyway, so as a known and esteemed merchant, alright, as scum of the earth, they will accept the fact that he has to move his goods, and therefore they will provide him with a pass. And he gives them a silver for it. And all is well. And you return to Hanamishisu, get back for lunchtime, and he gives you the afternoon off out of the goodness of his heart.
I shall ask Uncle, is that pass just for this journey?
It's to Nobioka and back. Well, it's from Ohaya Castle to Nobioka and back to Ohaya Castle.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
How long is it valid for? I mean, if we were took unusually long time to get there and back.
It's valid for a week.
Which is 10 days,
Which is 10 days. So it was dated.
But it just takes 2 days to get there, so we could get an extra thing and not tell them. Get an extra trip out of it.
We'll take a detour somewhere. I'm just gonna make sure we get back in time.
Or just get another load to take or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, small point comment.
Okay, so you got the pass on day 4, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's valid until day 14.
Alright. Well, and since we're leaving as well, it would be best to leave behind the armory weapons that we picked up. Or at least that I picked up, and I think somebody else did.
I hope you left them at the armory before you went to Ohaya Castle, as Uncle insisted.
Well, they never mentioned I did, so I assume I didn't.
In that case, there were problems when you left the village. What are you carrying? You're carrying a Yari, aren't you?
Well, a Jari, and I had the Tonto that I had from the armory.
Yes. Were you carrying that in an obvious place? The
No.
Yari you can't hide. The Tanto
Yeah, the Jari
you
I
could.
would be walking with, yeah.
You walk out of the village, or rather you start to walk out of the village. Uncle sees you carrying a Yari,
Well, it's
turns
a
round,
wooden one. It's a
scream.
wooden one.
No, the one you got out of the armory
Oh,
is a full Yari with steel point on the end.
Yeah. I picked up the Tonto from the armory. I only used a wooden Jari that I bought.
Okay, fine. So you're not actually carrying your Yari from.
Not
and
in
you
the
are
open.
you are
I'm thinking like it's okay.
How are you carrying your Yari from the armory?
No, I'm not carrying a Yari, I'm carrying a wooden Yari.
Okay, so you're carrying your practice Yari. That's
Yes.
perfectly fine. Okay. You get some odd looks from the guards, but they look at the end, and strictly speaking, it's just a very long staff. Okay. The question is whether they notice your concealed tanto.
That's different, yeah.
Not on a 19. Okay, so you return to Hanamishisu. You make it back by lunchtime. You can have the rest of the afternoon off. Uncle will get stuff ready for you to take tomorrow. Have you decided how you want him to break the packs down? He's even giving you carrying frames for these. He wants them back, but he's even giving you carrying frames.
Right, so we got 60, and we have 5 people. Is it possible to carry 20 each? I mean, we're gonna be encumbered, however we cut this.
Split it 4 ways, it says £15 each.
I'm afraid that Hachirō can't carry it. Somebody's carrying some of Hachiro's stuff anyway, and he still can't keep up with you. You try putting an extra £15 on him.
I mean, we've got the four apart from Hachirō.
Yes, so £15 a piece for you each.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stick it on your sheets and see what it does. It may put you up to partially encumbered, but you're still going to be faster than Hachirō.
Partially encumbered, yeah.
Yes, partially.
Yeah.
Was that on a quick?
Sorry, guys.
Stock should be made down to 5, certainly in my case.
Weight carried, what am I adding? 15?
Well, if you put at the bottom of your sheet, you see under at the bottom of the goods, your equipment, you'll see miscellaneous items. So if you just say goods, yep, and then say the weight is 15, and it's carried in your luggage, like so, then that means that you're now carrying that.
So it puts my total weight up to 27.2 unencumbered.
Okay. However, you need to add weaponry because you wanted 2 Yuara, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, if you click the drop down for your weaponry, then pick Yuara off the list, put 2 in the numbers, and then put an X in the close, for example, in sheath.
Where do you put the X, sorry?
If you put it in the second column, I close, I in sheath, so it's ready for use. If it's in a furoshiki sack, you'll have to stop, put the sack down, open the sack up, get it out. So it's somewhere on your person. Okay?
Got you.
And that will cost you a total of 14 copper.
Okay. Okay.
Is there anything else you want to take in terms of weapons or whatever? You got nunchaku, say. Do you want nunchaku?
Well, yeah.
Or are you going to stick with your temiwaza?
Well, the nunchaku would be my preferred weapon.
Fine. In that case, click the drop down.
Okay.
Pick a nunchaku. And again, that's going to be close in sheath.
I took 2, like Michelangelo.
Okie doke. That puts you in partially encumbered, and that moves your BMA down to 5.
Okay. Well,
And what I'm wondering actually is with
listen, the nunchaku is my preferred weapon rather than the Yuara, but the Yuara's really light. There's not any point getting rid of that actually, is there?
Well, the Yuara, if you use your Temiwaza, it adds +2 to your damage. Mm-hmm. If you use your Jujutsu, it adds +2 to the effect number for throwing somebody or or getting them in a grapple or something like that. So Yuara is useful to have for a Budoka.
Probably keep both then.
Okay. Anybody else want anything from Uncle? I believe somebody might have mentioned bandages, maybe?
Yes, I did. I'm going to see if he's got any.
Roll percentile dice. I believe there is a 30% chance he has some. Sadly, no. Hang on a second. But he can have a word with one of the craftsmen in the village and get some made up for you for tomorrow. It will only cost a little extra for the rush job.
Okay.
So he can get. How many would you like? He believes he can get. It's going to be D4 plus 1. He could get 4 made for you if you wanted them.
And how much do they cost?
2 silver.
They are 2 silver base. He will charge you 3 copper extra per bandage. So if you wanted all 4, that would be 8 silver and 12 copper. It's not all for him, you understand. He's paying 2 copper to the craftsman to do the rush job and stop what he's doing and on the loom, and he's just taking the extra copper himself as a fee.
I'll take all 4.
Okay, so that will be 8 silver and 12 copper. And it'll be available tomorrow morning. It's just as well we had half a day left, isn't it? He rushes out, leaving his assistant to kind of guard the shop. Anybody wish to buy anything from the assistant?
I'm good.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Good, he looks relieved.
Are we going to get better prices from this guy? Is he a little bit wimpy?
He certainly looks less experienced, yes.
Still no, but yeah, wish I thought about that.
Okay. Alright, I think that is a time for me to have another look and see whether your families are still feeling in good mood with you. The chance is going down. No, you're going to have to stay in the inn tonight. So, basically, your dad put his foot down, and no, you've left. You went down to Yohaya Castle, and you've come back again. So you're obviously employed by Uncle, and therefore you are employed. So you're not staying at home. You're welcome to come back for the holidays, but you're on a job. So, besides which, you're
exactly the same to my kids when I can. So I'm not...
Besides which, he's rearranged the house and your room's been taken. Or rather, your bed's been taken. You were sharing a room with several others. Okay, I think that is probably a good time to leave. If you would deduct 2 copper from. For staying in the inn here, because you do get a discount from the innkeeper who does know you and knows you're working for Uncle, so he will give you a discount.
Okay. Good. 80 copper.
Right, do you want to change some of those into silver? I've got good rates for that.
No, I'm okay, thanks. I've heard about your rates.
And I think that's a good time to leave it for the night. Okay, my apologies for my cock-ups. I am going to have to reread the rules again, but there's a lot to get through, as you've probably seen from the bits you've read. And I hope everybody has enjoyed themselves on this first session.
Superb, mate.
Good,
Thank
Dave.
you.
Yep.
A lot to learn, but
There is,
Okay,
but
We'll get there. Thanks, Dave.
That was very enjoyable, Dave.
good. And now you have to go to the big city. All right.
It's very.
It's not very big. For those who don't know Nippon, basically you have various classes of city, town, and village. And it goes A and B are the two types of city, C and D are the two types of town, and E and F are the two types of village. And Hanamishisu is a Class E village. It's one of the bigger villages. Nobioka is a Class D town. It's one of the smaller towns. It's still massive. It's about 9,000 people, because you have been there doing porter stuff for Lord Kanawa. But as far as you're concerned, it's the big city.
The other question I'm going to ask Dave is, are you going to give us extra on and tell us about it, or are you going to keep that to yourself?
No, I will tell you when you get on, because basically each of you will know when you get on, because you see the others get it. So on isn't as much what you think about yourself as what others, i.e. the rest of the party, think about you. So it will be visible.
It's visible.
Okay. Okay. I will also keep track of if you do a service, if you join a group, a school or a clan or whatever, and you do services for them, that will be visible on the bottom of the sheet. So on will be visible and services will be visible. I won't hide it.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I won't necessarily tell you what on you might get. So if you decide to go to the Temple of the Great Waters on pilgrimage rather than just visiting your local parish priest, that's a ritual visit, and you might have to perform a task to gain the on for ritually visiting that rather than just going to your local parish church. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It's just that one could argue that we could have got a couple of points from what we've done in the village.
You've gained some status there.
Oh, that's fine.
But you weren't actually supposed to be hunting on the Lord's.
We weren't hunting.
You killed a boar without permission.
We were protecting innocent children.
Yes, and you aren't hunters for that village. So what you gained was balanced by what you should have lost.
Okay, that's fine.
So a blind eye was turned to your actions by the Lord and the villagers. You gained monetarily from it, but you didn't actually gain any on from it.
Oh, that's fine. It's just I'm trying to point out that you can do the right thing and still end up on the wrong end of...
Oh, yes. Because if the Lord had decided to take it the other way, then he could have hauled you over the coals for hunting without being appointed.
Because on isn't good and evil, it's chaos and law.
No, it isn't.
But it's closer to, isn't it?
No, essentially...
It's right action and wrong action. It's face.
Which is determined by the law of the land, isn't it?
It's face and status, and it's not so much the law. You can break the law in an honourable way.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. Right.
And you can follow the law in a dishonourable way. Yes?
The point is, as a character, you can find yourself in a situation where whatever you do will turn out wrong, but you still have to make a choice.
Yes. I mean, I've seen a samurai acting as a second to somebody's seppuku, and he gained honour for acting as the second, but he lost a hell of a lot of status with the local daimyo because the guy who committed seppuku was an enemy. So he was in the daimyo's bad books for assisting an enemy to commit honourable seppuku. Anyway, but you won't have that problem for some time. You have to earn your place as becoming book. Alright, well, all being well, if everybody's happy with the game, I will see you here next Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
I will be doing it from France and hopefully with better Wi-Fi. If anybody has any questions or anything they want to talk about, you can always leave a message on the Bushido channel, and I will kind of keep an eye on it and answer it. I am going to be rereading the rules again, to try to avoid being embarrassed. Okay.
Right.
All right.
No, you've done a grand job. Thanks for
You
tonight.
did fabulous, David. Yeah, it was really good.
Good.
Well, the main thing is whether you all enjoyed it. Okay.
I really enjoyed it, man.
I did anyway.
Fair enough. In that case, I shall say goodbye, and next week you can walk up the Saikaido
Yeah, good night.
All right.
to the
Good
big
night,
city.
everybody.
Thank you. Good evening.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye.